I'm back and I'm here to do a reaction to a Reddit a Reddit story, not video, and I'm gonna make a video on it. But yes, that's what's up. I have a couch, I'm in a new apartment, we're gonna have fun, life is gonna be good. Yay! Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so this Reddit story I found under a Reddit / ByfelsDisciple. I don't know. Could be a true story, could not be. Who knows? But it seems interesting, so I'm going to read it to you. It's a little long, so it might be the only story I read. We'll see. Okay? So, the title is, Congratulations! You just inherited a haunted house. Sounds interesting. I was washing my hair with bar soap while pissing in my shower when I really considered how crappy my life had become. I couldn't afford both soap and shampoo, so I had to improvise. And sneaking into my college's gym when I probably shouldn't have been there meant time was of the essence, so I didn't have the luxury of lounging around at the urinal. Dirty clothes can be used as a towel, which is a clever trick I learned while trying to save money on towels. It doesn't feel so clever upon remembering that you're out of quarters, and therefore out of clean clothes for washing in a laundry, when your dirty garments are now dripping wet, and you have to race out of the gym with an unpleasantly warm and moist butt crack. I would have done a nude air dry after getting home, but home was the back seat of my car this week. That sucks. I really didn't want to explain to the cops a second time that I was only trying to dry my butt crack, not do anything else crazy in the back of my car. I freaked out when someone knocked on my window because I always freak out when someone wakes me up while I'm sleeping in my car. Cops and meth heads both want money, and I'm not able to provide for either one, so things usually end up poorly. This guy was neither. With a black fedora and a black trench coat, sounds sketch already to me, flanking a long gray face, he would have been goth chick if he weren't 30 years past teenagerhood. Knock, knock, knock. Raymond Salak? He called through the glass. I always keep my car window rolled up. I used to leave it open a crack so that I could breathe, but some person slid a coat hanger through the through the gap one time and unlocked the door, leaving me with a broken nose so that he could steal 19 dimes and 13 pennies from my dash. Okay, why do people do that? Why would you steal? Just leave the person alone. Ugh. I looked around blearily. Was I wearing pants? Yes. They were the same ones I'd put on yesterday after the shower. I realized this because I was still a little wet, and it really messed with me. I sat upright and focused. This guy could easily be a threat. I had to play it cool, letting him know that I was intelligent enough to be aware of my surroundings. Excuse me. Excuse the yawn. I'm going to take a sip of my aesthetically pleasing red wine. I'm bougie today. With my gray shirt, matching the couch. Totally. Anyways, this little pop-up just came up and I want to record, so leave me alone. No, I don't care about important things right now. I will do them later. Anyways, back to the story. Sorry, guys. So, I was intelligent enough to be aware of my surroundings, while also confident and cunning enough to use every hidden advantage to my benefit. Who are you? I asked him stupidly. Call me Advocatus. He smiled without happiness. Why don't you roll down your window so that we can chat? Or better yet, can you come out of the car? It didn't seem like a great idea, but I was already wearing pants, so I figured the day had started well enough for me to take my chances. I climbed out of the car and remembered that my key was inside as I was closing it. I didn't scream or yell. I just sighed and leaned against the door, feeling very forgotten. Mr. Salak, I'm here to tell you that you have not been forgotten, he explained in a deep, nasally voice as if, Then, Mr. Salak, I'm here to tell you that you have not been forgotten, he explained in a deep, nasally voice as he folded his hands over his briefcase. I really didn't know how to play this. Part of me wished that I had Tony's mayonnaise. Part of me wished I had Tony's mayonnaise. because it had expired 4 weeks earlier and really had a kick that got my mind running in the morning. That is just sad. I want to buy this person a chicken sandwich. If you think I haven't been forgotten, then you've got the wrong Raymond, I mumbled as I rolled my eyes. He said, the wrong Raymond Salak who lives in a 1999 Toyota Corolla? Yes, I answered uncomfortably, trying to make myself appear very small. The wrong Raymond Salak from Brunswick, Maine, who is currently attending Bowdoin College on an academic scholarship that doesn't cover the housing he hasn't been able to afford since both of his parents died in a car crash last year. Advocatess pressed calmly. How does he know all this stuff about him? Not cool. Yes, must be. I really, really wish I hadn't left my keys in the car. I wanted to escape. I tried to think about where I might go, but then I decided to stay put. Look, man, I don't know what you want from me. My scholarship runs through the end of the semester, and then I'll have nothing left to my name. I realize it might be against the law to sleep in my car, but I'm trying to avoid affecting anyone who might be offended by my presence. I'm just trying to hang on until I can't, okay? I sighed and fell into a squat. That's great. You must not know about your great Aunt Mary, to whom you're the only living relative. You just inherited her mansion. Sounds too good to be true. He opened his briefcase and handed me a folder. Oh, I said as I took it from him. And you're sure that I'm the correct Raymond Salak in a 99 blue-green Toyota Corolla? Mr. Abacus slowly looked up the street, then turned and looked the other way. Tell you what, if a second one of you comes along, you two can split the inheritance, okay? I looked down at the mansion nestled up against the Androscoggin River. It somehow settled warmly into the surrounding environs, while sharply declaring its carefully planned New England starkness to all who passed by. Which wasn't that many. This was a luxury retreat, free from all unpleasant trappings like traffic or other people. So this is the house? It's just mine? I asked Mr. Advocatess incredulously. Well, you have to pay an inheritance tax. Fortunately, the trust fund covers that amount with exactly enough left over earmarked for 20 years' worth of property tax, he explained matter-of-factly. Ah, I responded. Yes, it's a beautiful house, he continued, as he pulled out a sheet of paper of his briefcase. You just have to follow this list of rules. Oh, are you kidding me? I knew there was a catch. Is this house supposed to be haunted? Is that it? Will bad things happen if I break one of the rules? I was breathing heavily, so I forced myself to calm down. Look, I'm sorry, it's just a lot, you know? Mr. Abacus held his unaffected smile, the paper ready for me to take as it wafted gently in the breeze. Honestly, it seemed like a dumb idea to accept the list. I took the list. Is this everything? I could just move in? It's all yours, Mr. Salak. Enjoy your new home. I nodded, then turned and dazedly walked towards the front lawn. Mr. Salak! This had to be another catch. I turned around to face him. He tossed me the Corolla keys. Follow the rules. Things may surprise you. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second for another sip and a yawn, because apparently all I could do on a Sunday. Oh, goodness. The story's kind of interesting, though. I hope you guys are liking it. Okay, I thought that claiming the biggest bedroom would make me the happiest, but it just highlighted how few possessions I had when a pile of books and dirty clothes fought against the emptiness. But I'd already hauled a stack of logs into the fireplace and dragged a mattress into that room, so I decided to settle in. It was dark by then. I started a fire and huddled close. Do you know what you imagine is nearby when nothing is nearby? Everything. The emptiness of the room grew large as I huddled closer to the fire, realizing for the first time that I had no idea if I even had central heat or electricity. There was a lot I didn't know about this house. Why did a closet on the 3rd story need to be locked on that outside? What was the purpose of a window that led straight to an interior brick chimney? Why did it take 3 times as long to walk through the house as it did to walk around its perimeter? My eyes wandered to my pocket. I dismissed it at first, but where else did I have to turn? I slowly unfolded the list of rules, holding it close to the fire so that I could see it more clearly. Rules for Hill Street House. Never light a fire after dark. Knock on every door of the 2nd story at least once a day. That keeps curious hands on the other side. Avoid the blue room at the end of the 3rd floor hall. If you must go in, keep your eyes pointed downward the entire time, no matter what you hear. Always sleep with your bedroom door closed. If you close it but hear footsteps in the room before you falling asleep, then it entered well before you got a chance to shut it. Nope, I folded that up without reading the rest and set it aside. I don't do this haunting stuff, mostly because I'm a skeptic. And the part that isn't skeptical wants nothing to do with any such nonsense, so I figured dear Aunt Mary could take her rules into heaven or hell, wherever she was, with her. I still closed the door, though. And I put out the fire. Then I went to bed because this day had been wild enough for an entire year, and I wanted to enjoy the mansion without giving myself a heart attack. The room was much quieter than I was used to as I tried to fall asleep, and it was much darker without streetlights illuminating the inside of my car when I drifted off. That, of course, let my imagination play tricks on me. The settling of an old wooden house sounded just like footsteps, especially when they were so rhythmic, like they were walking towards me. It was particularly difficult to ignore the fact that they came at regular intervals. I wrapped my arms around my ears and closed my eyes. Creak, step, creak, step. I really wish I hadn't started that fire. Creak, step, or ignored the rules. Creak. I should have known this house came with a cost. The air pressure changed just slightly, as though someone was standing over me. I kept my eyes closed despite the darkness. Fear is nothing but imagination run amok, right? I could dismiss minor sensory overreactions. I could not dismiss the pressure that descended onto the edge of my mattress, which felt exactly like a man sitting down by my side. The pressure moved towards me, my heart racing. It felt like two hands crawling along the bed, one placed in front of the other as it got nearer and nearer. I didn't move. Cold air caressed my face in the exact cadence of human breath. I had to move. I opened my eyes to total darkness, but I knew it was there. Look, I realized that I didn't put out the fire or shut the door or whatever it is that you expected me to do because I only read part of the list and ignored the rest, but here's the thing. I'm going to be in a scary place no matter what, whether it's people or ghosts or people haunting me. So I have to ask, do you have a body? Something huffed, and a burst of cold air rushed over my face. Okay, I'm going to assume you don't. So what are you going to do to me that a meth head couldn't? Or more importantly, what kind of things can a meth head pull off that are simply impossible for an entity with no body? Silence. Right. So here's the thing. You might be scary, but you're dead, and this is my house now. My heart was beating hard enough just to threaten my eardrums. So we're all going to have to learn to coexist, because whatever crazy stuff you have in store is worth the cost of rent, which is nothing. Get it? I was panting in fear but determined to finish. A light burst of air whispered past my ear. I could have sworn it was confused. So, that means that I am the one haunting you now. I dropped back down to the mattress and wrapped my arms around my ears once more. So learn to live with it, or whatever it is you do. Tomorrow we can draft a new list of rules, because things are going to be different around here now. Good night. The end.